UFC officially announces that Nasruddin Imavov versus Caio Borralho is going to be the main event of the UFC Fight Night card in Paris, France on September 6th. Imavov is ranked number 1 in the division. Borralho is ranked number 6. Imavov was supposed to be the backup fighter for UFC 319 DDP versus Hamzat Chimaev, but he says he won't be because of this fight. Nonetheless, one of those guys pulls out of that fight. One of these guys is probably going to step in. Imavov's on a 4-fight win streak, and his confidence is at an all-time high after stopping Adesanya with strikes in his last fight. And Borralho is on a 17-fight unbeaten streak that has spanned 9 years, and so he's also on a high in terms of confidence. He's coming off a win over Cannonier last year. Some people wondering if his drug test will come clean, but Aaron Pico is in tremendous shape for his fight next month against Movsar Evloev, July 26, Abu Dhabi Fight Night. It is the co-main event, but it's a 5-rounder. Pico has the takedown defense and striking skills to make this fight interesting, but it's hard to bet against Movsar Evloev. He has more experience. He has a lot of UFC experience. He's fought better level competition. This is Pico's UFC debut. He's going to have UFC jitters, probably. It's also a 5-rounder, something Pico has not experienced yet, whereas Movsar has had a 5-round championship fight in M1. And also, Movsar doesn't know how to lose. He's 19-0, whereas Pico is 13-4. He's lost 4 times. Nonetheless, huge opportunity for Pico if he wins against Movsar. He might get a title shot. Movsar should be fighting for the belt right now. If Pico beats him, he's right up there for title contention. Future fight opening odds for a potential fight between Cyril Gane and Tom Aspinall. Gane, a plus 250 underdog, and Tom Aspinall a minus 300 favorite. Gane started his career 10-0, and he's 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Some people think he should be 2-3, and that Volkov won the last fight. Aspinall's won 3 in a row, all first-round knockouts. He has the shortest average fight time in UFC history with 2 minutes and 2 seconds. That is very impressive, and even more impressive considering the competition he faces.
Everyone, the news has broken. I'm sure everybody's seen it. UFC undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Moving forward, very, very important to me, just that I acknowledge everybody quickly who has supported me in this. I'm not going to say it was a tough time, but a bit of a challenging time over like the last kind of 10, 11 months that I have been inactive due to no fault of my own. But luckily, that is all behind us now. Massively appreciate the support from everybody. Massively appreciate the support going forward. I am going to keep this thing as active as possible. I want to be the best heavyweight ever to walk the face of the earth. I'm going to defend this thing as many times as I possibly can. I'm going to keep you guys entertained. I'm going to really give back to everybody who has shown me support over the last year, over the last 5 years, over the last 10 years. Really appreciate the support and love from everybody. And we're going to see an active, defending UFC heavyweight undisputed champion going forward. Thank you guys, and I'll speak to you soon.
Dana White loyal to Jon Jones till the end. He says he doesn't think that he ducked Tom Aspinall. It is possible to be a GOAT and the duck at the same time. If you ask Aspinall, he'd probably say that Jones is the GOAT, but also ducked him. But for Dana, he defends Jones in this situation.
I'll just come out and ask you, do you think he's ducking Tom Aspinall?
No. Jon Jones, I said it a million times, I'll say it again, he's never ducked anybody, other than that one goofy time with the Chael Sonnen thing. He's never ducked anybody, and, I think the reality is, whatever changed his mind with this fight, I don't know, you'd have to ask him that, but, he's 38 years old, and I don't know.
Do you think if it was someone like Alex Pereira, he would fight them? And it's maybe Tom that he specifically doesn't fancy the matchup, doesn't fancy the age difference?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to these questions. Only he does. We had the fight done. Listen, our job is to make the biggest fights we can make and the fights that the fans want to see, and that's what we try to do. But the minute somebody starts talking about retirement, my philosophy on that, you should do it.
Jon Jones retiring probably should have been celebrated more based on what he accomplished in the sport, but in the end, it was kind of just met with a lot of irritation that he held up the division so long, and also he didn't fight Tom Aspinall. Nonetheless, Khabib Nurmagomedov, who's considered one of the GOATs of the sport as well, gives him his props. My congrats, legend. Even though we weren't friends, but you are the best to ever do it in UFC history and inspired millions of people around the world. You have nothing more to prove in the sport.
Dana White.
Dana White promoting Canelo versus Crawford, which will be on the same day as UFC Noche.
You put on 2 fights. If you can get people to stay home on a Saturday night, you put on 2 great fights the same night. We have UFC Noche that night, and I know there's a lot of questions about this. The main events will not, the main cards will not cross over. You'll be able to watch one right into the other. So to be a part of a historic night on Mexican Independence Day, yeah, I love it. I feel very blessed to be here. Thanks, Sheikh Turkey and both the fighters up here. It's going to be a great night, historic night of fight.
So this year, UFC No Shit won't be a pay-per-view. It's going to be a fight night card, probably because of the Canelo-Crawford fight that the UFC is promoting. So there's no pay-per-view in September. You have this card, September 13th, San Antonio, Texas. Only fight so far on the card is Jared Gordon versus Rafa Garcia. Khalil Roundtree says he suffered a torn meniscus halfway through his training camp for his fight with Jamal Hill over the weekend, which is the main event at UFC Baku. He says he didn't spar for the final 3 weeks of camp, but he still won a dominant decision, 50-45 on 2 of the scorecards, 49-46 on the other. WWE is going to be doing some events at the UFC Apex, set to launch residency at the UFC Apex as part of TKO and WWE's long-term venue strategy. The upgraded facility is going to host premium NXT events and serve as a future hub for NIL talent, third-party promoters, and cross-brand development. Last time they did an event at the UFC Apex, they did a pretty good job of making that place look lively with fans and everything, so it is possible to add some life into the UFC Apex if the UFC wanted to, but they don't have to, they don't need to. It's more time, more money, more effort, and they'd just rather not do it. Ilia Topuria says a fight with him and Paddy Pimblett could be one of the biggest fights in UFC history, but Paddy needs to fight Justin Gaethje, according to Ilia. I think that Gaethje and Paddy need to fight with someone, maybe fight each other. I actually predicted they fight in the past. I said that the UFC would put those guys together, and if Paddy's able to get a win over Justin Gaethje, why not? I think it's going to be one of the biggest fights in UFC history. I hope, cross the fingers, he gets the win, and finally I'll shut his mouth. We're going to be in that octagon alone. I'm going to maul him. So yeah, that would be interesting for sure. That'd be a fight they could take to a stadium in Spain. But first things first, Topuria has to beat Oliveira. It's not a guarantee he does. He's a huge favorite to do so, like 5-1 this week, but it's not like Oliveira's an easy fight. And if they do put together Gaethje versus Paddy, Paddy has to win that fight. But I like where Ilia's head is at, because that'd be a great fight. Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje, and him versus Paddy would be very entertaining as well.
I think I was coming up, I had a dream. I knew it was not going to be easy, but I persevere, I never quit, and I made it. I think there's something unique about the Canadian mindset when it comes to fighting and perseverance, because Canadian people tend to be very proud, and because they're so proud, they're willing to put a lot of effort in their preparation to perform at their best. I don't think ambition is something you're born with. I think it's something you earn through struggle. Some people, when they fail, they give up and they crumble under the pressure. People who have the pride, the strength, and the resilience, they learn from their mistake and they come back stronger next time and they succeed.